Hey, good morning. Hey, it's Mark here with another morning rant. It's been a minute. Let's see, time 4:30. Actually, I've been up since like three something, roughly four, early four. But I had to wait because my kid's alarm go off at 4:30, and I didn't want to hear. I didn't want to hear that alarm. I haven't posted in a minute, a couple of days, and that's the reason for that. Unlike the major news sources, and I know this is called One Morning Rants, but the reason why I don't post every day, and I try to put out something every day, but some days I'll skip a couple of days or I'll skip a week, is I'm letting the news play out because I'm not going to try to predict the future of the news. And I may say, hey, I think this is going to happen in a couple of days, based on the information I've gathered up until that point. But I try to let the news play out before I say something, and before I speak on it. And here's one of the reasons why I was talking about that. And I've been watching Fox News, and first of all, what's his face? One of their mainstays at Fox is leaving. Chris Wallace. Chris Wallace is leaving Fox News, and Chris Wallace is one of the moderates at Fox. Give me a second here. I'm not gonna play the video. I just wanted you guys to see who I was talking about, but apparently, the computer don't want to act right now. But Chris Wallace is leaving Fox, believe it or not, to go to CNN. He's leaving Fox News to go to CNN Plus. They're gonna do. It's a streaming service. I'm not sure what he's gonna be doing there. What his what his future's gonna be. I mean, what's his content gonna be? But he's leaving CNN. He's leaving Fox News to go to CNN Plus, which is a streaming service for CNN. That you can say could hurt Fox News, and they still got some moderate people there. And just to give you a perspective, and just to give you an understanding of who is the moderate people at CNN, at Fox News, at MSNBC, CBS, whatever, ABC. Whenever you see a presidential debate, and between a Republican and a Democrat, not between not a primary, but when you see a an election debate, and it's one party against another party, who's ever moderating that debate, they're the moderate people. They're the quote unquote fair, I think, fair people. When you see people like Sean Hannity and a lot of the other Fox News opinionators or opinion people, I don't even know if opinionator is a word, but when you see Sean Hannity and a lot of other the opinion people on Fox News, and they're moderating an all Republican debate, you can tell that they are the one-sided people. When you see people like what's her name, Rachel Maddow, and she's moderating an all Democrat debate, that tells you what they are. And same thing with CNN. Even though CNN try to play the middle, you'll see some of their people unless it's sponsored by CNN, you probably won't see those people. But if it's sponsored by MSNBC or something like that, then you'll see the partisan people doing the debate. But whenever you see a Republican and a Democrat debating, and you don't see those people, then those people are not moderate. And Chris Wallace was one of those people. He did the Biden Trump debate. I think he did the first one, and that was terrible because Trump was just all over the place. But and I think he worked for CNN at one time, way back in the day. And Chris Wallace is 74 years old, and he's leaving. He's been at Fox Entertainment for 18 years, and he's leaving to go back to CNN. So there you go. But that speaks volumes on Fox. It speaks volumes about Fox, that they're running away their moderate people. They got rid of Shepard Smith, who left because the entertainers on Fox News belittled him. They belittled Chris Wallace, and they belittled all the moderate people on Fox News to where they're leaving Fox News. Shepard Smith left a couple of years ago. Chris Wallace is leaving, and I think it's going to be a lot more exodus out of Fox News. But let me get to this real quick. It seems that Tucker Carlson and some people on Fox News are become popular, and I'm reading this from reliable sources from CNN. Why is Tucker Carlson so popular on Russian TV? Let me play this out for you. You got to see this.
Striking to see how figures like Tucker Carlson and others on Fox are rooting for Putin. This week, Newsmax ran a cover story titled "Vlad the Great," and Tucker seemed to be justifying a potential Russian invasion of Ukraine. Shows across Fox, OAN, and Newsmax keep serving up anti-Biden, pro-Putin messages on the regular. Look at this banner saying Putin just wants to keep his western border secure.
Can you go ahead?
We wanted to know what Russian media was saying about all this. So, Matthew Chance tells us.
This is the kind of political analysis Russia's state-controlled television apparently likes.
Но все это не означает того.
The main channel in Moscow putting together this
Joe Biden is just a pawn for others right now.
montage of lines from a favorite anchor.
Вот кто предъявил.
Please show us Tucker Carlson, the host says. He's the man playing out all the complaints
I want to
against President Biden, she explains. But it's his defense of Russia's threat against Ukraine the Kremlin-backed channel now wants to highlight.
Vladimir Putin does not want Belgium. He just wants to keep his western border secure.
Okay. I'm glad he said that. That's what I wanted to hear. Look at the banner. Putin just wants to keep his western border secure. So he's trying to hype up border security, saying, trying to contrast that with Biden. Biden is letting a lot of illegal immigrants into the country. Putin wants to keep his border secure. Listen to this.
That's why he doesn't want Ukraine to join NATO.
So he's going against NATO. Because he's not a part of NATO. Russia is not a part of NATO. And don't get me twisted. Russia is a very poor country. They're not as rich as they claim to be. But one of the things that they do have is a nuclear weapon. So that puts them on the world stage because they have a nuclear weapon. If Russia did not have a nuclear weapon or nuclear capabilities, they would not be on the world stage. They will be no different than North Korea. But let's go to the map, shall we? Here's a map of Europe. Here's a map of Europe. All right, you got the Russian Federation over here, this big pink area over here. And just for context, here's the United Kingdom over here to your left. And you got France, Germany, whatever. All right, let's blow this back up. Now, let's do a little history lesson. Germany, right there, right? In World War I, they took a lot of land from Germany, right? They took the Rhineland from them, which is like their industrial hub, so that they couldn't make weapons. They took some other land from them, and they kind of blocked them off, right? Well, when Hitler took power in 1932, he wanted the German people back in the German fold. So if your country was speaking, if you had 80, 90, not 80, 90, 60, 70, 80% Germans or German speaking people in your country, Hitler just wanted, just bring those people back into the fold. We want Lebensraum, which is German for like living space. We want our Russian people, those who speak Russian, we want our German people, those who speak German, back into the German fold. So, and he was not German. He was from Austria, but he took in Austria. He already had Germany. He tried to take half of Poland, and that started World War One. But he was trying to take these countries and bring them back into the German fold. That's no different than what Putin is doing. Putin has already got Crimea, and he's trying to get Ukraine. And Ukraine is right here in this orange area right here. This is his border, his western border. And Tucker Carlson said he don't want Belgium because Belgium is way over here. This is Belgium right here next to Germany, and Belgium has I wrote a paper about it. It's crazy what the Germans did to Belgium to get to France. It's so stupid what France did. But I digress. The Czech Republic, things like that is what Germany wanted. Russia has already, they've already been inside Crimea, and they want Ukraine as well. And they're saying, well, we don't want them inside we don't want Ukraine to get inside NATO, but Ukraine don't want to be a part of Russia. So he's going to force his way into Russia. Well, he's going to force his way into Ukraine. And that's so what Tucker Carlson is saying is, to protect our border, we're going to put troops at our border, and we're going to invade Mexico, because Russia wants to invade Ukraine. Russia wants to control Ukraine. So we should do the same thing to Canada and Mexico.
Makes sense. Imagine how we would feel if Mexico and Canada became satellites of China.
It's essentially what the Kremlin says. So
Cuba is communist, and they have become a satellite of Russia and China, 70 miles off the coast of America. Remember the Russian Missile Crisis? 1960s. We almost had a nuclear war with Russia. So, yes, Cuba is a small place compared to China, compared to Canada and Mexico, but still. So that we have something that's been held up for a long time. We have what we call the Monroe Doctrine. And the Monroe Doctrine, it was written by John Quincy Adams as the Secretary of State under James Monroe. And he wrote, because it's called the Monroe Doctrine because he wrote it, even though John Quincy Adams wrote it, he was under the Monroe administration. And basically what it says is no foreign power is gonna come over and try to colonize the Western Hemisphere anymore, basically. So we have the Monroe Doctrine. And that's not saying that places like Venezuela, who's a communist country, and that Russia was over in sending them planes. We're not saying that they can't come over. It's just that they can't colonize over in this area. We're going to protect the Western Hemisphere. And we did the Monroe Doctrine when we had like 30,000 troops. Anyway, but Russian people and Russian commentators in Russia are loving the way Fox News is talking.
no surprise, the studio guests agree. Excellent performance, exclaims this editor of a Russian national defense journal. We can only have solidarity with this view, he says. US officials say NATO poses no threat, and this Russian military buildup is unjustified.
Wouldn't it be great if we actually got along with Russia?
For years now, Russia has homed in on controversial praise from the US, including from the former president himself, and often used it to justify its stance at home. Like former President Trump taking the side of Putin over US intelligence agencies on
This part was so embarrassing. This was so embarrassing.
Russia meddling in the US election. Russia denied it. Trump at first agreed.
I have President Putin. He just said it's not Russia. I will say this. I don't see any reason why it would be.
At the time, even Russian TV anchors seemed surprised.
Hello.
President Biden has been more critical of Putin in public. A tougher
And here's the other thing, too. Here's the other thing. If Hillary Clinton had won the 2016 election, I believe she would have been tougher on Russia. And Russia did not like that. They did not want that because as Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton did not play with Russia. She did not play with Russia. And Putin was afraid of her. And I feel like if she had won the presidential election in 2016, not only would she be on her second term right now, but she would have marginalized Russia to where they would have been just nothing. Even their nuclear weapons would have done anything. I think she had that much fear. She gave Russia and Putin that much fear to where they did what they did to get Trump to win. And Trump went out there and kowtowed and tap danced for Russia. And then you got Fox News. They actually changed. Trump actually had them change their Republican platform to include Russian sympathies in 2016 at the convention. Go look it up. And Fox News is catering to Russia, especially Tucker Carlson. He's catering to Russia and saying, hey, he just want to protect his borders. That's called appeasement. Go back and look at World War II when Chamberlain, Prime Minister Chamberlain, was appeasing Hitler. Okay, we'll give you this land, but no more. Okay, we'll give you that land, but no more. Okay, we'll give you this land, but no more. And the more you keep giving a tyrant, the more he's going to want. He's going to always be hungry. And that's what World War II did. The minute he tried to take Poland, it was like, okay, you've gone too far. You've gone too far. And that's what Fox News and Donald Trump was doing. They're trying to appease Russia. Well, just give him Crimea. Give him Ukraine. He's just trying to protect his borders. Okay, so once you take Crimea and Ukraine. Here's Ukraine right here, right? Once they take Ukraine, what's going to be their border now? Moldova? Well, hell, Moldova is just as small as Ukraine, so come on over, Moldova. And then Romania, Hungary, the Czech Republic, Slovakia, Poland, Belarus, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, like Finland. These are all on the border of Russia. Kazakhstan. So once you take over those lands, your border extends. And now, okay, I need to protect that border. I need to protect that border. I need to protect that border. And that's what happened in World War II. And here you got people like Tucker Carlson and Fox Entertainment being okay with this. Oh, of course, we will not like to have China on our border. China likes the fact that North Korea is where it is because they don't want a Democrat country, which is South Korea. They don't want South Korea on their border. So hell, let's do this. Let's just go ahead and take Mexico. Let's go ahead and take Canada because we don't want them on our border. Oh, they're friendly, so we're not gonna. Russia and Fox News are intertwined. Trump, Russia, Fox News. They're all intertwined. And Fox News is becoming a Russian propaganda television show. Oh, so what? Republicans are going to pull China out their ass and say, well, Biden is all about China. Get the hell out of here. So now we have Democrats that are catering to China. China is an economic power. China also has nuclear weapons. The one thing that I can say that's bad, that I don't like, that the United States is doing, is the United States is doing business with China, and they have human rights issues. But our economies are so intertwined, and they've been intertwined since the 70s, since Nixon went over, that it's kind of hard to separate ourselves from Russia, from China. So, and I'm not trying to excuse China and the Democrats. All I'm saying is our economies are so intertwined, and yes, we're $30 trillion in the hole, but China doesn't control not even half of that. I think China has like $3 trillion of our debt, and they can call it in. They can call it in, but they won't call it in because number one, they're waiting on America to debt themselves into poverty, and number two, if they called in their loans, they probably won't get their money. Russia has no stake in America. Russia has no economic ties with America. We put so many sanctions on Russia till it's crazy. And Russia is a poor country. The only people that are rich in Russia are the oligarchs that Putin lets be rich. So why would they cater to Russia? And again, I'm not saying Democrats cater to China. It's just that, first of all, a Republican opened up the doorway to China, and that our countries have been so intertwined when it comes to our economics. We have to do business with them. We have to go back and watch the late, great Colin Powell say that he shook hands with a lot of ugly people. So anyway, I'm at 20-something minutes. I'm going to leave it at that. It's Monday. Hope you guys have a great week. I'm going to try to have a great week. Hope you guys have a great day. If you're on Facebook and you're watching this, go ahead and become a member of the page. If you're on YouTube and you're watching this, go ahead and like, share, subscribe. Hell, you don't have, just go ahead and like it so we can get this out to further people. But if you want to, go ahead and like it, subscribe to the channel. If you're on Instagram and you're watching this, salute to you. Go to the pages, check them out. And I will see you guys on the next one, all right? Y'all take care. I'm out.